Bismillahirrohmanirrohim. Your Excellency Bapak Arifin Tasrif, Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources of the Republic of Indonesia. Your Excellency Mr. Willy Werner Ritman, Minister of Economic Affairs of Finland. Your Excellency Mr. Pekka Kaihilahti, the Ambassador of Finland to the Republic of Indonesia. Distinguished government and business representatives from Indonesia and Finland. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us all. Om Swastiastu, salam kebajikan. A very good afternoon to everyone and welcome to the Indonesia-Finland Smart Energy Working Group. My name is Chandra from the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, and I am honored to be your MC at this auspicious event. We are gathered here today to foster collaborations and exchange ideas in the field of smart energy between these two nations. Without further ado, I would like to invite Bapak Arifin Tasrif, Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources of the Republic of Indonesia, to deliver his opening remarks. Minister Tasrif, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency, Mr. Willy Werner Ritman, the Minister of Economic Affairs of Finland. Your Excellency, Mr. Pekka Kaihilahti, the Ambassador of Finland to the Republic of Indonesia. Mrs. Nina Coppola, the CEO of Business of Finland. Distinguished government and business representatives from Finland and Indonesia. Good afternoon, selamat siang untuk kita semua. I'm delighted to welcome you all to our office for the Indonesia-Finland Smart Energy Working Group Day. I really appreciate everyone's presence today, especially to Minister Ritman and the Finnish delegation for making the journey to Jakarta. It's a long trip from Finland to Indonesia. I've never been Finland. I've been other Nordic country, but I hope I can pay the debt someday. It is heartening to observe that the relations between Indonesia and Finland have been steadily growing on bilateral basis, and I sincerely hope that we can expand this relation into a more broadened collaboration, particularly in the energy sector. During our lunch, we talk a lot of things. We discuss a lot of possible things that we can cooperate between Indonesia and Finland. We recognize Finland as a country. They are rich source of knowledge, technology. So our country, we are rich of population and also resources, natural resources. So this kind of combination, will be fruitful to strengthen the relation between Indonesia and Finland. Activities and programs have been conducted, including these events, which will encourage Finnish investment and collaboration with Indonesian enterprises, especially in the energy sector. Finland's extensive expertise and advanced technologies in clean energy sector as well as energy efficiency could significantly contribute to Indonesia net zero emission pathway and realizing our shared goal of advancing global climate mitigation. We appreciate Finland for bringing the issues of battery storage, charging infrastructures, power plant, smart grids, renewable energy development, green building topics, and then especially for the new things, mineral recovery technology. Indonesia has set energy transition roadmap toward net zero emission by 2060, focusing on development of new and renewable energy, what we have, such as solar, hydro, geothermal, wind, as well as ocean energy, and then also clean energy like hydrogen and ammonia. In the long run, super grid we have to develop to enhance the connectivity and to reduce intermittency in the 5 main islands, such as Sumatra, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Nusa Tenggara, and Bali. This interconnectivity could optimize the utilization of renewable energy sources across the country to create sustainable energy systems and to ensure supply energy to our people. On the demand side, Indonesia put priorities on expanding the use of electric vehicles, targeting more than 500,000 four-wheelers, cars, and 5 million of two-wheelers motorcycle by 2030. This target requires fast development of battery industries and charging infrastructures. To promote energy conservation, the Indonesian government has enacted several key policies such as energy saving standards and labeling, energy management, and energy conservation business development. For energy management in buildings, those that have energy consumption and or energy sources greater than or equal to 500 ton oil equivalent per year are required to carry out energy management. We estimate that there are more than 600 commercial buildings obliged to carry out energy management in which it will be safe energy consumption of up to 77,000 ton oil equivalent per year. The government is currently developing concept of green buildings and net zero energy building, and working on the green building roadmap, which serves as the guideline for future implementation. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, looking ahead, there is still much work to do. So I invite and very much welcome Finnish investors and business entities to increase their presence in Indonesia and actively participate in Indonesia's clean energy projects. I hope this forum will serve as an avenue to explore partnership opportunities and dynamic exchanges that will lead to tangible outcomes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bapak Arifin Tasrif, for your outstanding remarks. Next, I would like to invite our honorable guest today, Minister of Economic Affairs of Finland, Mr. Willy Werner Rydman, to deliver his opening remarks. Please, Minister Rydman, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, other distinguished guests, representatives of the companies. Finland has an excellent expertise in comprehensive clean energy solutions for implementing the energy transition. We, as a cold climate country, have always been forced to use our resources in an effective way so that our resources are used so effectively as possible. In current day's world, we are tackling the challenge of climate change. And though our countries are pretty different, so we are facing the similar challenges when it comes to energy transition and the climate change. And that's why I think that the needs that Indonesia has already recognized and the expertise Finland has to offer are really a perfect match, where both parts can help each others to achieve those targets that we have set for us in order to tackle those challenges when it comes to climate change and energy transition. Finland is a pioneer country in energy efficiency. We operate cost effectively and in a technologically neutral manner, considering the entire life cycle of systems. We're not only committed to one solution or to one technology, but provide comprehensive, holistic solutions. Finnish enterprises could support Indonesia on the path to energy transition by balancing power plants that can also run on sustainable fuels. When renewables are not available, flexible gas-based balancing power plants will provide the flexibility needed to balance the variability of renewables and ensure reliability. The Energy Memorandum of Understanding, which has been signed between Finland and Indonesia, provides an excellent basis to continue and expand our business and innovation collaboration. By promoting energy efficiency, clean and renewable energy, facilitating development of power generation, increasing resource efficiency, developing smart and sustainable energy infrastructure, and carbon neutral transport. We hope that the amount of business between Indonesia and Finland will increase in the coming years. Finland is one of the leading countries in flexible power systems. Our strengths lie in energy efficient systems and life cycle solutions that offer the best cost effectiveness over their lifetime. The smart integration of energy systems is our strength. We see growing cooperation possibilities of different energy sources and low carbon solutions. Cost-effective solutions and voluntary energy efficiency agreements have helped us to achieve leading position in energy efficiency. Finland is also one of the world leaders in the utilization of renewable sources of energy, especially bioenergy. We have a proven track record of diverse projects in renewables. Waste-to-energy plants play a very significant role, especially in municipal waste management. Finnish waste-to-energy plants are the most modern in Europe. We use renewable energy also improves energy self-sufficiency and employment. When it comes to electric transportation, plays a pivotal role in transitioning away from fossil fuels in the transportation sector. Electric vehicles offer a cleaner and more sustainable alternative. The increase in electric vehicles has been rapid in Finland. The share of electric vehicles among all new cars were more than 50% in 2023, compared to just a few percent 5 years ago. Finland has world-class expertise in energy and data as well. Our electricity grid is one of the most advanced in the world, and it is extremely stable with minimal losses. The grid reliability at transmission lines is 99.8%. It is based on strong know-how on grid technologies, cybersecurity expertise, and flexible production and energy storage capacities. The energy use and climate impacts of the built environments and construction are also significant. The construction sector produces about 35% of the greenhouse gas emissions and 30% of the waste on the global scale. Finland and other Nordic countries are forerunners in bringing whole life carbon approach into building regulation. Energy efficiency regulations, building codes we have had already since 1970s. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, I'm confident that Finland and Indonesia together can develop our societies to be carbon neutral and energy efficient. It also contributes to the well-being and health of our citizens. Finland possesses expertise in various clean energy solutions, including renewable energy, bioenergy, efficient and energy production and utilization, smart flexible electricity networks, waste to energy, energy storage solutions, electric transportation, charging industry, and sustainable built environments. I sincerely hope that cooperation between our countries and businesses will continue to flourish and expand. I'm confident that today's energy workshop will also be a success. Our cooperation projects have our political support, and our staff in Jakarta, as well as Business Finland, are at your service in all practical matters. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Minister. Please stay at the front because I would like to invite Minister Arifin Tasrif to come forward for memento exchange and photo session. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. We wish you luck for your next agenda. Oh, another photo session. Yeah, thank you very much, Your Excellencies. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. Before we start the panel discussion, allow me to invite Ms. Nina Coppola, CEO of Business Finland, to deliver her speech. Ms. Coppola, the floor is yours.
Your Excellencies, dear seminar guests, we all know that the world we are living in as of today will not be here tomorrow if we don't do something. Climate change is affecting us all over the world. However, I'm very happy to note that our two countries, Finland and Indonesia, take this matter seriously. We have high ambitions to make a change, and we have committed to targets for carbon neutrality. I believe that the Indonesia roadmap is really amazing. Indonesia wants to have 23% renewable energy by 2025, wants to implement the electrification roadmap they have designed, and support the global coal to clean power transition. Finland also has ambitions. We aim to be carbon neutral by 2035, and we are already on a good way. 52% of our energy is already generated from renewable sources, and 94% of our electricity is today carbon-free. This is quite amazing. We also know that the current trends are very strongly driving for the need of electricity, which we believe is to be doubled by 2050 globally, which leads to us needing grid flexibility, building level, innovative and digitalized solutions. Therefore, we need both public and private measures and also company innovations. And in Finland, we have a long tradition of public and private working together, which gives rise to end-to-end holistic solutions to the most difficult, vicious problems we have to solve the climate change. And this instead of just singular products, actually, as the minister already pointed out. This concept we call Finland as a service to offer these full end-to-end solutions. We can combine a holistic offering to renewable energy generation and management, which would include power generation and storage, transmission, distribution, and the interface to consumers. As we are working, the two countries, towards the same targets, we can also work together. And that's why what I think we should achieve today is true cooperation between our two countries. We should share our knowledge and experiences on our way to carbon neutrality. So let's learn from each other. And I believe there's one thing we in Finland are doing right. Being a small country, we kind of know each other Finland is 5.6 million in a country that is larger than the Java island. So imagine that compared to your population. So, of course, we don't exactly know each other, but we know people, many people in Finland, and we have a society that is built on trust. Therefore, it's easy for us to work together and to create ecosystems from various counterparts and stakeholders for the private, public, and academia to work together. This is a very, very good ground to build on. So let's take today's working group launch as the first step towards this kind of cooperation. I have a saying that saving the world is good business. So let's do good business and save the world together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Coppola. Looking forward for Business Finland collaboration with our ministry in the near future. Now, I would like to invite our Honorable Secretary General for the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Bapak Dadan Kusdiana. Honorable Mr. Dadan, please, the time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. A very good afternoon. Excellency Minister, Ambassadors, and also the CEO Business of Finland, and also the business representative from Indonesia and also Finland. Please allow me also to welcome you all, the Finnish delegates, at this occasion. We are very happy to have you here to enjoy the warm or even the hot of Jakarta and living quite cold currently in Helsinki. So welcome again to Jakarta. My minister said that he is not yet in Finland. I went to Finland in 2010, 2011, when we had done the project of energy and environment partnership. It was indeed a very good project for, I think, 3 or 4 years, come up with ideas with the project, with implementation in the field, mostly in the area of bioenergy. So I think I know for sure that Finland is quite very much advanced in terms of the bioenergy. And yes, we are here in Indonesia. We are the tropical country. We are actually the agriculture-based country here, in which that we grow the trees, then we can have 3 or 4 times faster compared with your island. So, Ibu Bapak sekalian, I think Finland is the best partner for us, in particular for bioenergy, since we are huge in that part. But let me start with providing you with the information so far in terms of what we are currently doing and what actually has been done, and would like to see also the planning of Indonesia in terms of the energy transition in the country. I think at least we have 5 or 6 activities currently becoming our priority in reaching the net zero emission in 2060 or earlier, or even just to increase our renewable energy and clean energy in the implementation. The first is, as my minister mentioned and also discussed during the luncheon meeting, we are increasing the demand for electrification. So for us, the core of the energy transition is electricity. So what we do now is to convert the use of the other use of energy to electrification. We are introducing the induction stove, for example. We do the electrification for agriculture. We do electrification for maritime. So we start with that, with the idea then we have to provide the electricity coming from the green resources. So one, we can do all this change of the supply from the energy, then we can come up with the solution of the clean energy. The second, of course, the renewable energy development. I think those are already in the priorities in many countries, following also the result of the COP, the recent result. We have to increase this utilization. Indonesia has more than enough of the resources, including the demand. So Indonesia is not only rich in terms of resources, but we have the huge demand. The Warsila during the lunch mentioned that they are doing the study in Sulawesi. For me, this is very attractive because Sulawesi Island is very dynamic island. This island is rich not only in terms of solar. I think we can mention solar everywhere, but Sulawesi has huge in terms of the wind. In fact, the commercial implementation of the wind farm in the country happened in Sulawesi so far, with 2 wind farms already in operation. Hydro is also good. The big hydropower is located in Sulawesi. And Sulawesi is also rich in terms of mineral. Then government has the program of the downstreaming of this mineral. Needs huge energy, needs 24/7 energy for this. So if Warsila doing this, I think the ministry also will be supporting the idea. We can share the raw data in particular, since we do also this such kind of the simulation to see how to combine between the resource and also between still to maintain the competitiveness of the mineral industry. We are also in the discussion on how to reduce the use of the fossil, in particular for coal. To come up with the idea on whether we can do acceleration of the operation of coal-fired power plant. But this is the dynamic issue. This is not the issue that, yes, currently Indonesia, or in particular Java, is excess supply of 6 gigawatt coming from coal. But we see next year, it's very dynamic. The situation is, dynamic means because the growth of the industry, the growth of customer, the growth of the demand mostly happen in Java. So currently we are revisiting this idea for the early retirement, and the other is also we are working with many parties, in particular with the country of Europe and also with Japan, for example, to introduce the new energy. Say, for example, I think within 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have the recharge station for hydrogen. This is the first one in the country, in Indonesia. So we start to do that part. It's not because, yes, Indonesia is already ready for the implementation. No, we would like to see the supply chains implementation for this part. So we are working with many parties in order to understand, to experience such kind of implementation coming from hydrogen. I think for battery, this is already common in many places. The 6th is energy efficiency application. I know exactly that Finland is advanced on this part in industry in particular, and we are seeing also to see further the implementation for that part. So the others, I think I would like to mention the success of the implementation of the renewable energy in the country. Can have the slides of Cirata floating PV power. This is the one that it has been in planning since 2017. So this is actually not easy project for us also. This is it started with G2G implementation between United Arab Emirates, but then it come up with the GCG, come up with the idea of the local content and everything, and finally last year it is in the first operating for quite high in the region, quite large in the region for such kind of the quite complicated project. So we could learn from this. It's not only about how to build the power plant coming from solar, but it also the type a very good experience for us on how to working with other ministries, for example, because this is on the lake. Yeah, this is we put on the surface of water. So we start with introducing the regulation on how many % we can use the water surface on there. So we come up with some ideas later on how to also to accelerate the implementation. This is in a place, and we know exactly also the reduction of the solar power equipment is getting less and less, and we are inviting all to see that the implementation of energy transition for Indonesia, it is also one way for us also to increase our competitiveness. So this is not ideal for us to see that expensive renewable energy to be pushed on the grid, but we like to see both. We like to see that our industry is becoming more competitive with using the clean energy. So kind of the last one. Next. This is the one that we start with hydrogen. We come up also with the production of the sustainable aviation fuel. Had been with us for the productions, I think, since 3 or 4 years ago. So we are ready in terms of the resources. We are ready in terms of the productions. Now we are in the preparation to review the readiness, in particular for the commercial issue, on how then we can put this into the real implementation. But the project is here. My minister discussed already with excellencies in terms of the resources of palm oil, for example. So we have huge of that resources for sustainable aviation fuel. The president has just did the groundbreaking for the blue ammonia project. This is in very eastern part of the country, in Papua. So we do almost at any type of the energy transition pathway has been started here in the country. And since I said that we are very good in terms of the growth of the industry, we are huge in terms of the demand. So the market is huge again here in the country. So we are inviting the others, the parties, on how also to contribute on this kind of the development. My last slide is in terms of the mineral. Of course, it's not only renewable energy resources. Of course, it's not only that no, Indonesia is blessed also with the huge finding in terms of the gas, for example. But we are also rich for such kind of the very important energy transition supporting materials, the critical materials, the rare earth elements. We are huge alumina, copper, and nickel in particular. We are still in the exploration for lithium, for example. Yeah, there are some actually very promising finding also for this kind of the very important critical material that without this, then the energy transition will also impossible to be reached. So by this, again, I would like to welcome to all Finnish delegation. We have here also from Indonesian parties, from the power industry, from the oil and gas, and also from the renewable energy. We have here the chairman of the biomass industry also present here. So I would like to invite all to also to contribute for the discussion. So by this, I would like to conclude my remark. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Bapak Dadan Kusdiana. Before we are entering the main panel discussion, we would like to invite you for a 5 minutes coffee break. The snacks are provided in the next glass door room. Please, you may enjoy the coffee break. Thank you very much. Distinguished delegate, the panel discussion will start. So do you mind to take your coffee and bring it inside? Thank you very much. Distinguished delegates, please be seated. We would like to continue our panel discussion. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to continue our panel discussion. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We would like to begin the panel discussion. Without further ado, for the first panel discussions about energy transitions and carbon neutral, I would like to invite Bapak Hari Davila from Business Finland to be a moderator for these sessions. At the same time, allow me to also invite Ibu Primanitya Swastiastu from Pertamina NRA, Bapak Bernardus Sudarmanta from PLN Indonesia Power, and Mr. Cipta Perdana from PLN Icon Plus. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. We are about to start our first panel discussion. Nanti saya panggil aja. Ya, nanti saya panggil. Okay. Okay. I think I just start. Good afternoon. A very good afternoon to everybody. I think since all the ministry and all the Secretary General is gone, now we are about we can relax a bit. Yeah, we can relax. We can chat more, and then we can discuss a lot of things together. So just a quick information before I call our distinguished panelists. This working group actually is a series of discussion that we propose to have in one every quarter. So this is actually the first working group discussion that we plan this year. And we will have 3 more this year, hopefully. And of course, since this is the first one, what we do today, probably this is a good time for us to discuss, to get to know each other, and then to explore collaboration among Finland and Indonesia. However, this is my wish that maybe for the next working group discussion, we can try to elevate it. Yeah, we can try to give it more. We can discuss more things. So for instance, I think what I suggest and what I can propose to you is that maybe in the next working group discussion, we can select 1 or 2 concrete projects in Indonesia that currently ongoing. So the idea is that the project can be biomass power plant, for instance, or maybe can be solar power plant or a big power plant, or it can be like a seaport, or maybe even like a airport, where our company like Wärtsilä here can support in energy generation. And then we have also Virta Global and Kempower can support in EV charging infrastructure. And then we have Nokia can support in communication into the smart grid system of this big mega project. And if we go to maybe sort of like a green building things, we have PECO here that can support in sustainable building material. We also have HELFAR that can support in energy solution for lighting. And lastly, we have today Moloch. Moloch is our company that can support a big project that can in waste collection management. So this is, I think, the sort of an idea that I want to bring before I call our distinguished speakers of today, that how we can holistically probably think what we can do together between Finland and Indonesia. So both of us, both countries can pool our resources so we can really, really do something concrete in Indonesia. Again, I think after we see what Minister has said earlier, and also our CEO, Nina Coppola, say that this is something that Finland can do, something that can be holistic, something that we can pull our resources together, then can create a concrete project in Indonesia. So this is my wish. Okay, so but the idea is that also that with this all company that I mentioned and even more companies from Finland, that we really would like to work with Indonesia stakeholders. We really would like to find collaboration. We would like to work together with Pertamina, for instance. We would like to work with PLN, for instance, also IBC, Icon Plus. And I noticed also that in this room, we have some really distinguished director from PTPP also here, Pak Edi. We really also like to work with EPC companies. Yeah, our company really like to work with you. And let's collaborate together. I think that's the message before I call our distinguished panelists. Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce our companies. So as agreed in this panel, we will have 8 companies. So we agree that there will be 2 sessions even in this panel. So first there will be 4 Indonesian companies, and then after that we have Q&A, and then after that the Finnish side will take the turn. So first I would like to call PLN. Who doesn't know PLN, right? So PLN is a state-owned company, electricity company, yeah, who receive mandates to distribute electricity to everyone basically in Indonesia. And today we're really happy to have Bapak Bernardus Sudarmanta, Director Business Development and Commerce from PLN Power Indonesia. Please give a big applause to Pak Bernardus. Yeah. You can take the seat here, Pak, wherever you wish. Okay, the second speaker is from Indonesia Battery Corporation. So PT Indonesia Battery Indonesia is a state-owned company as well, engaging in battery electric vehicle and electric vehicle ecosystem. So please welcome Bapak Renaldi Istanto, Director of Institutional Partnership. I think Pak Renaldi here is one of the youngest director from our state-owned company. Thank you, Pak. And then the third speaker is from PLN Icon Plus. So PLN subsidiary company that focuses on digitalization and communication to support PLN electricity businesses. So please give a round of big applause to Bapak Cipta Perdana, Director Business Development of Icon Plus. Welcome, Pak. Okay, the last one is from Pertamina, New Renewable Energy. I don't think we have to introduce a lot about Pertamina. Is they do everything. And Pertamina Power and New Renewable Energy Subholding is responsible for managing all power and new and renewable energy activities in Pertamina. So please welcome Ibu Primanitya Swastiasti, VP of Low Carbon Solution and Future Businesses. Please, Bu. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Thank you again, Bapak-bapak dan Ibu-ibu, for attending this really nice and good workshop working group. This is the first one that we have between Finland and Indonesia. I think to start, I think I would like you to probably start with Bapak, maybe give an overview about your company and maybe the solution that that probably your company is doing right now. And like I say, maybe in the beginning, maybe let's think about what we can do together between Finland and Indonesia. Like maybe like what a big project that currently ongoing, that's something that Finland can contribute to your activities. Please, Pak, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to introduce about PLN Indonesia Power. We are one of the state-owned generation company. We manage around 21 gigawatts power plants, comprised of 417 machines spread out all around Indonesia. Talking about Finland, I think we have been long cooperation with Finland, especially with our colleagues from Wärtsilä, because a lot of engine from Wärtsilä already installed in our facility. So maybe can next slides. Yeah. So Indonesia Power is part of state-owned utility company, and our portion is for power generating portions. Next, maybe. Yeah. So in total, we have 31 gigawatts installed power plant. Mainly in Java, we have 60 gigawatt, and in Sumatra, we have 2.74 gigawatts, and the other in Kalimantan, Sulawesi, and Papua. Most of our power plant is almost 88% is still using fossil fuel, while for the renewable power plant, our portfolio is only 2.4 gigawatts, mainly from hydro and geothermal. There's the renewable energy portions, and still small portion for solar PV, currently around 8 megawatt solar PV. It's still very small, but according to our renewable energy development plan, in the near future, we trying to accelerate our renewable energy development. Next slide, maybe. Yeah, this is our power plant development based on the RUPTL. In total, we are going to install 6.9 gigawatts in 100x locations. Yeah. So we still have a portion to build some thermal power plant. That is 960 megawatt, 40%, mostly using gas engines. So this thermal portion will be part of used to be cooperation with Finland also for Wärtsilä engine. But for the renewable, we have a plan to build hydro. It's 3 gigawatts in 16 locations, and some 2 location mini hydro. And also for the solar PV, we plan to develop 1.2 gigawatts. We hope within these 2 years, within this next 2 years, will be installed around 1 gigawatt. Now we are ongoing process for procurement and also development for the solar PV, in total around 1,000 megawatt or 1 gigawatts. And also we have a plan to develop geothermal with total 570 megawatt. It's around 8% in 21 locations. Also, wind turbine in total 297 megawatt in 6 locations, and also bioenergy in total 88.4 megawatt in 10 locations. While the other 750 megawatt is a kind of renewable energy combined with energy storage. So we call it renewable energy base load. So we are trying to develop renewable energy with energy storage to overcome the intermittency of the renewable energy. Next. This is the location of the projects. Maybe in detail, you can share the informations. Next, maybe. Yeah, this development roadmaps. Beside the 108 location for the renewable energy development based on the RUPTL, we have a plan also to improve our existing coal-fired power plant to be a flexible power plant. We call it a combination between a coal power plant with solar PV. So in this power plant development, we are trying to install solar PV to compensate the passing down of the coal-fired power plant. So in total, we need around 9 gigawatt up to 2030 for renewable energy development. Next. I think that's short information regarding Indonesia Power and development plan in the next 5 or 6 years. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Bernardus. I think it's very interesting to see that from the plan that you just mentioned, also that hydro actually play the biggest part in your plan, which is 43%. I note that. And I also note that you mentioned Wärtsilä quite a lot, Pak. Pak Febron, maybe you have some comment, maybe? Okay, yeah, thank you, Pak Bernardus. But we will have a question and answer after this, Pak. And I'll move maybe to the second speaker. Please, Pak Isdianto, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me as a speaker here. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Reynoldi Stanto. I'm a Director of Institutional Relations from Indonesia Battery Corporation. So Indonesia Battery Corporation is a state-owned company. This initiative comes from the government of Indonesia that wants to downstream the natural resources of Indonesia. So as we know that Indonesia is in a strategic position for downstreaming the EV ecosystem, since we know that the number 1 reserve of global nickel is Indonesia, and we also have abundant natural resources such as copper, aluminum, bauxite, and other critical minerals that are available in our country. And also Indonesia is a growing economy. So in 2021, the government of Indonesia, through the Ministry of State-Owned Enterprises, initiated the establishment of Indonesia Battery Corporation. Our shareholders is MindID, is a holding company of mineral industry in state-owned enterprises. Pertamina also is a oil and gas company, and also PLN, a state-grid company. So we aim to be a world-class company EV and battery ecosystem with a vision maximizing the potential of Indonesia resources by establishing a synergized EV battery ecosystem end-to-end from upstream to downstream. And we also continuously build capabilities and strengthen our competitiveness in order to become a world-class company. Please, next slide. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we aim to build an end-to-end ecosystem, ranging from the building integrated ecosystem from upstream to the downstream, building downstream battery ecosystem for e-mobility, because we know that to create the market is the first stage before we can downstream the mineral. So we need to have a market first. So that's why IBC also play in the downstream. And also we building battery energy storage system ecosystem. Next. And this is our organization's structure for the next 10 years. We aim to be a subholding of the new energy material. So IBC will have precursor cathode, cell pack company, recycling company, and also IBC downstream, OPCO, to maintain battery as a service provider. Next. And this is the time plan. Currently, we already have two big partners from China and Korea, which build end-to-end from upstream. There will be a partner, Antam, with CATL and LG. And for the midstream, IBC will play a role with the partners as a battery component and battery. And for the downstream, last year we have acquired the OEM of Gesits that to build a market for EV two-wheelers. And also battery energy storage, we aim to play the role in this field. And for infrastructure, we don't play in the charging station because it's a mandate for PLN, but we play as a battery as service. So we are a battery owner, and people can use the battery without buying the battery. They can pay the subscriptions. So that's our kind of business model. And also, the most importantly, we also aim to establish battery recycling, which will start operation in 2031. Next. Yeah, this is our end-to-end ecosystem. We are still open to collaborate with a Finland company, with a European company, and we are very keen to see the opportunities to have a partnership with you guys, ranging from smelting, refinery, precursor, battery cell, battery pack, and also for the OEM. So I think that's an introduction. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Pak Isdianto. I think it's very interesting presentation. One thing that I note that you mentioned the last time, you mentioned battery as a service. If it's okay, I'll just ask you a question right away. What is actually the difference between battery as service and charging as service? Is it charging as service is also part of your business?
Charging as service is a PLN.
PLN, okay.
Battery as a service. So with battery ownership will be on us, not on the user.
Okay.
So user will pay the subscriptions.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Maybe before I introduce this for the third speakers, I have not say hi to Pak Ego. Welcome, Pak Ego. Thank you for staying with us, and really thank you for this collaboration. And of course, our Finland new best friend, Bapak Milton Pakpahan. Welcome, Pak. Thank you so much. Okay. I also forgot something that I mentioned earlier, that what we were thinking about this holistic, when we're talking about holistic solution that Finland can offer and work together with Indonesian local company. And then now we have this, we start this working group, which is actually the first working group out of 4 working group that we do. One thing that I kind of also have this idea that I would like to propose, maybe one of the last 3 working group discussion, we can have it in Finland. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, see. Okay, all right. I'll move now to our third speaker, Bapak Cipta from Icon Plus. The floor is yours.
Baik, terima kasih Pak Hari. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, selamat siang. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that everybody here knows what PLN is, who is PLN. But I don't think a lot of us here knows who the PLN Icon Plus is. Together with Pak Berna from Indonesia Power, PLN Icon Plus is, in the next slide, is one of the 4 subholdings of PLN. So the world is changing, the world is transitioning. PLN is also transforming. So the old PLN, there is only one PLN. But now there are 4 subholdings of PLN taking care of the whole value chain of PLN from the prime energy, power generation, and for the business beyond electricity that is mandated from the PLN to PLN Icon Plus. So we from the PLN Icon Plus, we have the job to do business beyond electricity. And what are the beyond electricity business? We can go to the next slide. Am I allowed to stand up, please, Pak Moderator? Am I allowed to stand up? Yes. So this is how we imagine the future of Indonesia. The transition of energy, like what Pak Dadan said earlier, is that energy transition is electrification. So this is what we imagine the future will be. There will be a lot of electric vehicle in Indonesia in the next few years. There will be a lot of charging station. We will build a lot of charging station in Indonesia. Thousands, maybe 100,000 in the next few years. There will also be the battery swap station for two-wheelers. Does anybody here know how many two-wheelers are there in Indonesia? 1 million, 2 million, 20 million? 140 million, 140 million of motorcycle in Indonesia. So that is how big the opportunity for battery swap station is. 140 million of motorcycle today in Indonesia, and in the next few years there will be transition from the ICE motorcycle to the EV battery-based motorcycle. We also installed the PV rooftop. We also installed the solar panel on the roof of residential houses, the factories. That is also the business of PLN Icon Plus. And also we provide home charging services for the people who have EV cars in their house, and they also need the medium charger for charging their EV at home. We also provide the home charging. We also provide the charging station for two-wheelers that the battery cannot be swapped. We also have the charging station. There will be thousands of charging station for two-wheelers. There will be thousands of charging station for cars. And then we also provide the internet connection, because in PLN Icon Plus, we declare ourselves as digital and green solution. We provide digital solution as well as the green solution. We provide the CCTV solution, IoT smart, and this is also important, the energy monitoring system, because when we have a lot of EV infrastructure, we install a lot of rooftop solar panel infrastructure. We are going to need the energy monitoring system from the side of the PLN and also for the customers. That is what we provide as the digital and green solution company as the subholding of PLN. In the next slide, please. Next. As I said, that we provide at least 3 types of infrastructure for EV ecosystem in Indonesia: charging station for two-wheelers, charging station for cars, four-wheelers, and also battery swap station for more than 140 million potential EV market for two-wheelers in Indonesia. And next. And we also, as a digital solution provider, we also integrate everything into one system. So everybody can access the location of the charging station. Everybody can access the location of the battery swap station through their phone. So everybody can access the location, and also they can do the transaction through their phones. We have PLN Mobile, and PLN Mobile is now downloaded by more than 45 million users. So everybody can access the location of the charging station through the mobile phone, and they can also do the transaction. They can pay, they can book the charging station through their phones. That is the future of green and digital Indonesian solution provided by PLN Icon Plus. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pak Cipta. I think it's very amazing to see the potential of this EV and your business as well. One thing that I learned last year when I attended this Enlit Asia, I think one of the DG from Ministry of Energy mentioned that to reach carbon neutrality, Indonesia needs to do three things. First is decarbonization, the second one is digitalization, and the third one is decentralization. So I think your company really play a role in this digitalization, and I'm sure other companies also here. So really remarkable, and you have from Finnish side, we have two companies in EV charging today.
Yeah, so we only just started and we invite everybody to invest together in Indonesia, and we can work together with PLN Icon Plus in Indonesia.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, now I move to our fourth speaker, Ibu Prima Tia from Pertamina New Renewable Energy. Ibu, if you want, you can also stand up. It's okay. Please, Ibu, your floor is yours.
Sure. Thank you very much. I'll probably just stand up here. Maybe probably here is better, so I can see the screen. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. My name is Prima. I'm here actually on behalf of my boss. Unfortunately, he was unable to attend this very fortunate event. So today, I think a bit of introduction as well on Pertamina Power Indonesia, since we are the youngest company of Pertamina, subholding of Pertamina Persero. So it's probably some of you may not know what our activities these days. Next. Okay, so PNRE is on the top right. If you see in the presentation, we are also called with the Pertamina Power Indonesia. So if you see those two names, PNRE or PPI, please don't get confused. It's basically the same. However, we do have our subsidiary, one of the big company, a subsidiary of PNRE, which is PG, is under PNRE. So if you see, there are 6 subholdings right now that Pertamina Persero has, and we are the youngest. Next. As mentioned by the moderator before, yes, we do have a lot of activities and initiatives for the energy transition. As you know, Pertamina, in the last couple of years, we are focusing on building our capability in renewables, but also in clean energy or technology. As you can see here, our main goals are, you can see on the 3 pillars. So one of the first one is to reduce all the emission that we have through energy efficiency and change of some of the power plant that we have in not only like Pertamina Power, but we are supporting other subholdings such as the refinery and also upstream, if they would like to have solar PV or changing from their old gas power plant to new one. So those are the decarbonization of current operation in Pertamina Group. And other than that, we have our new low carbon business. So Pertamina Power Indonesia is actually built, established a couple of years ago when we have our first gas power plant project, 1.7 gigawatt of gas power plant in Cilamaya, West Java. And afterwards, it's developing to what we currently have right now. So that project itself is being sent to the SPV, which is Jawa Satu 1. Later on, you can see the presentation. While PPI itself of PNRE is focusing with many things, from the decarbonization of the current operation, the establishment of new business, which is just I mentioned, on natural gas, renewables. We have cooperation with IBC as well on the EV charging and swapping batteries. We are doing hydrogen now. I think PLN also have some active, and other company is quite active on trying to have to utilize green hydrogen and also green ammonia. That's also what we're currently doing. On biofuels, we are starting to look on the potential to assist one of our affiliate, Patra Niaga, that currently already starting to do biodiesel. So we are helping them as well on that aspect. And other than developing new project on energy transition, we also focusing on carbon offset, which is basically, and I think some of you probably already know that IDX just recently launched a carbon market platform, and Pertamina is one of the, we saw some of the carbon from geothermal energy at that time. And other than that, we are doing natural gas solution, which is cooperating with Perhutani on trying to reduce or avoid some carbon emission from the forest area. So next. Some of the project that I mentioned is already here. I think you know the history of Pertamina Power Indonesia and also what are our activity. We are here, like this is new company, so we are cooperating with a lot of company currently. For example, on gas to power, I think I saw Wärtsilä here. This is one of the turbine manufacturer, if I'm not mistaken. So we don't have that cooperation with Wärtsilä yet, but we know that every time we have a project, we always invite them to attend. But those are the things that usually we have cooperation with other companies. So we always invite international company as well. So because the capacity of gas power is generally big. On geothermal, this company already been established since 2006 and just recently IPO, PGOE. We're working with Masdar as one of the shareholder as well. The company now already have like more than 600 megawatt and continue to grow. On solar PV, we do have several, but it's still within our Pertamina group. In total, it's almost 50 megawatt. We are, of course, still progressing. It's not only within Pertamina group, but we are expanding outside the market as well. Wind, I think biogas, we do have some small wind. We still recent initiative, but of course, Faisala is here. Usually on wind side, we know that they're quite familiar on supporting assessment for wind and also on wind data assessment as well. So in future business, I think the IBC already being presented before, so I won't talk about that more. But on clean hydrogen, we have several initiatives. Some of them we're trying to develop green hydrogen for power to send to, no, not power, for supporting Singapore because they're planning to co-fire the gas power plant with green hydrogen. And the most recent one, we just groundbreak HRS, which is a hydrogen refueling station in Dan Mogot. The plan is to have a commercial size of HRS, and we're working with Toyota currently for providing the cars. Okay, next. I think my time is up, but all the presentation that I have here are actually already being presented. Maybe you can just go to the last slide. Yes. Okay, this is the overall project that we have currently on the operational capacity. Most of them is focused on geothermal, but we will have gas to power COD in the next couple of weeks. And then it will be one of the biggest gas to power that we have. So I think this is all my presentation. If you have any discussion later, I'm open to this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bu Primanita. I think another great presentation. Especially, I know about many things, but I think the one that stands out for me, I think this carbon offset business. I mean, this is, I think, a new business that has been in discussion for so many people. Last year, we had this ASEAN Circular Economy Forum. We host this event last year together with ASEAN. And one of the big topic is to have this carbon credit solution in Indonesia. So really good to have you here today. I would like now to invite participants to ask questions for our great speakers today. I'm gonna move near you. So if you have any question, please raise your hand. This is a chance for you to discuss. Anybody? Yes. Okay. Oh, ada. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to ask some question to Pak Sapta from PLN Icon Plus. For the first questions, I am Hani from Director General for Mineral and Coal. Is there any program for home charging, not only for landed house, but also for residential or apartment environment like this? Because based on your presentation, you say that Icon Plus has program for home charging, but the picture is landed house, not residential. Okay. For the second one is about I forgot. I think just one. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Please, Pak.
Thank you for the question, Ibu. Siapa tadi?
Ibu.
Hani.
Ibu Hani.
Ibu Hani. Ibu Hani, terima kasih pertanyaannya. Thank you for the question. Beside providing home charging solution, we also provide private charging solution. So private charging is for like the apartment or for the like closed complex, and also for the malls, hospitals. We also provide private charging solution. I don't think I put it in the picture, but we also have that kind of product.
Okay. Okay.
Nanti
Thank you.
kalau ada arahan kami bisa terima, Bu. Dari
Oh ya,
dari
terima kasih
Dikti.
Pak. Oh ya, satu lagi itu Pak. Do you have any experience in which one or where apartment or residential that Icon Plus has installed?
Yeah, we are in very close to closing deals with several apartments, but we have done some kind of pilot project, proof of concept in several apartments. I can give you the reports in details, Bu. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I have one question maybe for everyone. As we know, one of the target for our energy mix is 23% by 2025, right? And now I think we are maybe halfway to go, and then we are about maybe 2-3 years to go. Maybe, oh no, actually 1 year to go. Okay, so maybe from your sort of division or your line of work, like how do you see it, and what is the biggest challenge why it happened, and how your company can support this energy mix target to achieve this energy mix target? Please, maybe Bapak first.
Yeah, thank you, Pak. Obviously, regarding our target to achieve 23% in 2025 is very challenging because until now, we achieve only around 30 or 12%. The most obstacle for our point of view is that we still have struggling to overcome the first about the economics of the renewable energy comparing to our affordability in terms of electricity production costs. Second is, frankly speaking, some regulation is still unmatched between ones to the others, especially say, particularly related to the local content regulations. We still struggle with that. And number three, also, we still find out how to overcome the intermittency impact to the grids. Some technology is already offered to us, but in terms of economic is still unacceptable. So frankly, we are trying to iterate the option of the technology, but we have been delayed for quite a long time. We think till we get the suitable technology and also the investment approach. But in the next 2 years, seems that we have no longer able to retain, and we're trying to do our best to achieve the energy mix. So that's why, like Indonesia Power, have a plan to develop almost 1 gigawatt within 2 years, especially for in this year, 2024, we plan to finishing the development of 500 gigawatt, and next years will be another 500 megawatts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak. Oh, you wanna? Okay.
One more question, if I may. Pekka Laitinen from Business Finland. Concerning your geothermal plans. I noticed that that's a new idea here, and quite interested to hear what kind of plans you have. Finland is a very cold country, but we have more than 200,000 households that are heated actually by geothermal technologies, and one of these companies is now very active in Vietnam, and they are using the geothermal technology to actually cool down private houses in a block of flats. So we have probably quite some interesting technologies in this respect in Finland as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pekka. About the geothermal, yes, we had been starting up to accelerate the geothermal development, and before PLN always trying to take the subsurface portion only for the surface portion for the geothermal, and for the subsurface usually is handled by our colleagues from Pertamina Geothermal. But seems that this approach is not quite enough to accelerate. So PLN itself now encourage ourselves to playing around in the subsurface risk also for the geothermal. So in the RVTL, we have a plan to build 570 megawatt geothermal in 21 locations under Indonesia Power concession working area. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Pak Isdianto can continue with the first question.
Okay, thank you. So regarding the transition energy to achieve the target of the government of Indonesia, and so the target for the reduce the emission, I think from our side we see that the most important challenge that we face is market creation. So when we talk about the transition energy, we cannot transit energy without the market. So that's why we appreciate the support from the government Indonesia through the Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Coordinating Maritime and Investment to accelerate the EV adoption in Indonesia. And we also, from our shareholders, get a mandate to build the ecosystem and also create the market. So if the market created, we also can accelerate the transition energy. So that's why, as a quick win business of IBC, whilst we are still building the manufacturer for the battery, we create the market from the battery as a service. So that's why this initiative that we really need to push on. And also we are open if there's a partner that can collaborate with us to accelerate this market creation in Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, Pak Cipta.
Yeah, our contribution to the energy mix from the PLN Icon Plus, I believe that we have two kinds of contribution, directly and indirectly. Indirectly, we are taking care of the development of the smart grid of the PLN. Once the energy mix become the big thing, there will be intermittency, and then there will be needs for smart grid to balance everything. And the technological aspect of the smart grid of PLN is taken care by the PLN Icon Plus. That is the indirect contribution. And the direct contribution, I think from our PV rooftops business, there will be gigawatts of PV rooftops installed in the next few years. But I think we need to get and support from the government, because we don't know yet whether the PV rooftops excess of the electricity can also be calculated in the energy mix calculation. And a good point from Pak Rinaldi is that one of the things that we sometimes overlook is that the market creation, the demand creation, and we also have the contribution in creating the demands, creating the market of the renewable energy in Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you. Ibu, please.
Yes, from PPI, probably most of the activity that we started is divided into two, like outside the market of Pertamina itself and within Pertamina Group. Because we know that, for example, on refinery and also upstream business, there are those core business that they focus on. They don't really have time to pay attention on what kind of source of power plant that I'm using, those kind of things. So that's why we are focusing on that first by providing services such as replacement of gas power plant or utilization of flood gas utilization, and then change that to a new energy that they can use. We are supporting on how they can make their refinery more efficient. I think now they have like energy index that they need to meet on a yearly basis. That's where Pertamina Power Indonesia can comes in, and then having to support by assessing what they can do in their own plants. So they don't need to spend a lot of time on doing the non-core business. Outside the Pertamina Group, we do a lot of things as well. But I think we can see the most challenges that we have. I think I can probably just simplify it to two things. One is the competitiveness of the tariff itself. Since we are talking about new technology, new market, for example, on green hydrogen, green ammonia, many companies that actually looking to it and they're quite excited. But when we do the feasibility study, this feasibility study is very challenging because we keep on comparing it with a coal-based hydrogen or gray hydrogen is coming from a subsidized tariff on gas. This also happened on gas power plant where I personally think that from coal, if you wanted to transition, you will still need a baseload kind of power plant, which is gas is one of the things that you can actually rely on. However, again, the market still think that I transitioned from coal, which is very cheap. So it's very challenging for us to jump into when they want to change. Yes, I want to change to gas power plant or other baseload, but they're not able to use coal. And then how to meet the parity of that. So sometimes we do have a discussion with SK Kamigas, for example, on how to deal with the gas price or LNG price right now, because it's not comparable with the coal price. That's our most of the some of our client actually have that kind of concern. So I think that's and the willingness of companies. Most of the initiative in Indonesia, I think, or worldwide, also still voluntary kind of base. If you can see, like carbon market back in the days, like 10 years ago, the market is a bit of mandatory because the Kyoto Protocol mandate the other countries need to develop something in Indonesia. Oh, sorry, in developing countries. However, this is most of voluntary. So to pick up the pace is a bit challenging. You cannot like having it faster as what you expect to be. So it have to be like slow. So if someday or maybe in Indonesia as well, the mandatory is already started or at least initiated, then the projects such as energy efficiency or carbon market can go faster.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bapak-bapak, Ibu-ibu. I think I got the signs. I think we need to give now the second round for our Finnish colleague. But thank you so much again for your presentation. Please stay so we can discuss further later. Please give a round of applause to our distinguished panelists. Okay, now we move to our Finnish solution, Finnish companies. I would like to first call Wärtsilä. So Wärtsilä started its operation quite a long time ago. I think it's 45 years already in Indonesia. And as far as I know, I think Wärtsilä has an installed capacity around 5.5 gigawatt. So please welcome Pak Febron Siregar, Director of Wärtsilä Indonesia. Okay, the second speaker, we have a EV company, electric vehicle company, Virta Global. So Virta is a global pioneer in developing smart electric vehicle charging services, has been in the market 35 countries. Install about 100,000 chargers in these 35 countries. So please welcome Mr. Elias Pori. Okay, Now the third speaker is Kempower. So Kempower is also an EV company. Basically, this is a hardware of this EV charging system. 300 million euro companies. Please welcome Mr. Juho Sapala. Okay, and last, do I miss? Okay. Tiga orang. Nokia, Pindah. Nokia, Faisala. No. Okay. So we have all the companies, right, from Finland set. Do I miss anybody? No, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I remember. Oh no, you second. Okay. Now I'll first probably give a floor to Wärtsilä, Pak Febron. Please maybe provide some overview of your solution. And then next Ken Virta, and then the last one Kempower. So please, the floor is yours, Pak. You can stand up or you can sit, whatever you like. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Hari. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Febron Siregar from Wärtsilä, Indonesia. Yes, as mentioned, actually, Wärtsilä is a company from Finland and focus on marine and energy business. But today I will talk more about energy. So next slide. So we are focused also in the decarbonization, both marine and energy industry. Wärtsilä is one of the oldest company in Finland. This year we will celebrate 190 years of existing. We are in 68 countries, and so far our revenue is around 1 billion euro. Next. Yeah, thanks to PLN, Pak Bernardus, and Energy Minister. I think our install base is around 5 gigawatt from Aceh until Papua, and mostly we're running with dual fuel. Why dual fuel? Dual fuel is used if the gas is not yet existing, but it will be there in the future. So there is a flexibility for the fuel for our engine. Next. So this is, I think, one of our showcase is owned by PLN Indonesia Power. Pak Bernardus here on this power plant, 200 megawatt. And we built this power plant together with our local partner, PTPP. PTPP also here. Thank you very much for the cooperation so far. And I think this dual fuel power plant is quite a showcase because most of our customers from other worlds would like to see the power plant, and also, of course, since it's in Bali. Next. And as we know, globally now is in energy transition, and Wärtsilä also focus and has a vision towards 100% renewable energy future. Next. And from the Bloomberg, I think there is the most CO2 produced is coming from power generation. So it's important to reduce the emission from the power generation. Next. And Wärtsilä actually also support the net zero emission in 2060 from Indonesian government, which is as we hear today also that there is also a good roadmap. And I think from Wärtsilä point of view that the most important is to add renewables, and then add balancing with engines and storage, and then phase out the inflexible plants, and the step 4 convert sustainable fuels, And then the last is to phase out all the fossil fuels. Next. We did some study using Plexos software in Sulawesi. Why in Sulawesi? Because in Sulawesi is also already quite some renewable energy, especially from wind turbine. So to meet net zero in 2060, there still need to implement, I think, quite some renewable energy needed. So actually to be able to decarbonize the power system, the technology is already available and also actually is commercially is feasible also. Next slide. That's it. Thank you very much. If any question, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Febron. I think we move to the next speaker, Mr. Elias from Virta Global. Please give a round of applause.
Thank you, Harry. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Elias Pöyry. I'm co-founder of Virta. A few words about Virta soon. First, I would like to tell you a story. We were traveling around like today with one other minister back in the days, and then he posted something about e-mobility. Now, in the social media. Now, half of the comments were super supportive, and half of the comments were totally against EVs, saying that it will never come, and the range is too short, and not in our environment, and not in our energy mix, and so on. And this minister then asked me that, why is it that I get half of the answers that are totally against me? And that don't they understand where the future stands? And I told him a story. When we are now in 36 countries in the world, travel around, we see each and every country developing their own way in e-mobility. And guess what? To your surprise, they all develop exactly in the same pattern, exactly the same way. First, there are the few cars, the few forerunners that say that, hey, we are going EV, and so on. Then they're followed by the denialists who say that this is not going to happen. It's impossible, and technical barriers, and this technology is missing, and that technology is missing, and so on. Then the third phase is when the visionaries, the home engineers come in and tell that this is how we solve this piece, and this is how we solve this piece, and so on. And they all think that this problem is only in this country, and they are the first one that meet the same problem. But then eventually, when the market matures, there are more and more EV drivers, there is more and more happening in the market, the global models jump in. So basically, this is the story I want to tell, that everything happens the same way. I don't have too many slides. Maybe I can have a next slide here. One more. But two things maybe I would like to point out. First of all, why I don't have too many slides. E-mobility is digital business. Only 1/3 of cost of EV charging network is the hardware. Second third is the installation, grid connection, and maintenance. And the third piece is the digital part, digital services. But the revenue driver is the digital services. Second, you need energy management to make cost-efficient investments in EV charging. Energy management to reduce the need for grid connection, energy management to future participate in the energy system, energy flexibility, and hence help sustainable energy to come into the network without causing too many troubles for the grid. And if we look at our numbers, we are 10 years old. We are over 100% a year growing company, actually 5th year on the roll on the Financial Times top 1,000 list as fastest growing companies in Europe. I think we have done something right. If I pick up a few numbers, first of all, over 100,000 chargers connected. So the experience teaches you how to be reliable, how to do good customer services. Second, if you notice 500,000 roaming customers, so 500,000 roaming charging points, it means that this is an ecosystemic play. It's not something that every company builds their own network and runs their own network, but you have to do it as an ecosystem in partnerships with others with digital connections. And then the third one, 33 patent families. We have more patents than anybody else in the industry in the area of energy management, energy flexibility connected to EV charging. So said this, EV charging platforms, they are like SAP in ERP systems or Salesforce in CRM systems. You cannot build one to yourself. It's not cost efficient. But you have to cater many players. You need 1 million EVs to really be profitable in the digital EV charging business, but then it scales. So with this, we are an enabler. We are not someone to conquer this country. We will hope to find partners we can help and we can partner with, and together bring Indonesia faster to reach the EV goals. As it seems, we are a little bit lagging behind of the neighboring countries now. We are already in Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, and Australia in Asia Pacific. So we pretty much understand this region as well. So with this, please, let's join together and make this country an EV country as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Elias. I think a very inspiring theme, I would say. I think what Elias mentioned, like how to let's collaborate, let's work together. I think this is what we Finland here today, why we are here. We would like to collaborate with all of you today here, government, stakeholder, association, companies, private companies, everybody. So really, really happy to see it's coming from our company itself. I will have more questions later on, but let's move to our third speaker. Please, Mr. Juho Sepala.
Yeah, thank you, Harvey. Selamat sore. So my name is Juho Sepala and I am representing Kempower, as Harry mentioned, and this is about the public charging. So this is actually good continuous storytelling after Elias, who is providing vital part of the ecosystem what is needed for charging. Since Indonesia is a couple of years behind, I mean, entire Asia is a couple of years behind of what has happened in Europe. We should replicate some of the learnings from the Europe and Western world, USA, Europe, into here. There is no need to invent wheel again. And one of the things and concerns and comments I keep hearing around this neighborhood quite often is that should we implement chargers because we don't have EV cars? Actually, this is not chicken and egg problem. If you don't have EV chargers, you will never ever sell EV cars. And this is the God-given fact. And Indonesia especially, you have a strong initiative to build your own EV cars like you are doing at this moment and speed up this transition of the mobility. You are building Hyundais and Wullings already in here with the plans of expanding the BMWs, Volkswagens, and you name it. But nobody is investing in industry if there are no chargers. That's a fact. So you need chargers. We are not forcing you to buy those things, but that's as per your strategy to get a transportation electrified. Okay? And then a few words about the Kempower and things what we are doing a little bit different way than our rivals. All right, next slide, please. Okay, it's a little bit blurry. Okay, a few words. We are a relatively young company since 2017. Listed in NASDAQ 2019 and growing quite rapidly since then. Our parent company, however, they have been founded in year 49 for building welding machines, which has a strong relation to electric chargers. Okay, let's move on. Here are the figures, sales figures. This is only 9 months last year because last quarter is not public until 2 weeks from now. But it's 300 plus something. At this moment, let's go to the next one, since we have a little bit limited time. We are in 50 plus countries at this moment. We have been implementing over 20,000 charging points, physical charging points already. Some of them with the partnership with Virta, and some of them without Virta. So, but main message is that we are plug and play whenever you use our combination. So it's a seamless thing, proven, tested everywhere. Okay. Okay, we can skip this one. I mentioned this already. And public charging, I mentioned that the heading was public charging, but we are also covering some other things than just public charging. Usually by public, we mean buses, fleets, and the vehicles. But we are also doing that for boats and heavy machinery. Okay, next. The difference why we are doing things a little bit different way than our rivals. Our approach is business. Our customers, charging point operators, they need to make money. We are not selling bits and bytes and boxes that buy cheapest, buy capacity. No, you buy business. And we have done several tricks for being able to improve the business of our customers. One is the scalability. No over investments in the beginning. You can scale up very seamlessly already purchased systems, which is cost efficient, and not too early investments. Second thing, how to maximize revenue stream. We have dynamic power sharing. So we are dynamically sharing the power needs of the vehicles. Since vehicles are the ones who are justifying the need for power, not the chargers. You may hear some other stories that we have the most powerful chargers on planet Earth, but the poor car won't take more than it likes to, between 200, between 10 kilowatts, okay? Then another thing is the OpEx thing. We have pretty efficient management systems for the things, preventing care and everything, because every downtime goes to lots of money. This is just a not product presentation, but showing the scalability in all levels inside of the cabinets and also the satellites you can add onto the existing cabinets. Very efficient way. Next one, please. We can skip this one. This is an explanation for the dynamic power sharing. And this is just the visual photo or picture of the management software, how we are managing all the chargers remotely, proactively. We can change all the parameters and so priorities from there, see the faults, configurations and everything. Next one, please. That was the last one. As you can see, I have Indonesian phone number, so I'm a local. I live and breathe Indonesian here, so feel free to contact me at any time. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Juho. Before I give some question to the floor, I have 2 questions for the panelists. I asked the same probably initially to the Indonesian company about Indonesia energy mix 23% by 2025, and then carbon neutrality by 2060 or earlier, right? Now maybe I would like to ask also to our panelists. The first question is that what do you think is the challenge in Indonesia market? Like what Indonesia can do so Indonesia can reach this carbon neutrality target by 2060, even by 2025 target? That's the first question. The second question is about maybe first in the beginning, I talk a lot about collaboration, like how this working group will be the platform for us to collaborate. Even in one point, I say, let's pick and select and elevate this, pick and select 1 or 2 project, concrete project in Indonesia, that thing that we can do together, yeah, the holistic way. So maybe from your point of view, what sort of project that you are thinking and how we can invite all these companies to Finland to talk about it. So please, 2 questions.
Thank you, Pak Hari. I think to answer the first question, to reach net zero emission, of course, you need to implement more and more renewable. But the problem is most of the renewable is intermittence, such as solar PV or wind turbine. What is intermittent? It's mean that when there is sun, there is electricity. When there is wind, there is electricity. But what happen if there is no sun and no wind? As we know that electricity production, the supply and demand need to be balanced. Otherwise, it will be blackout. That's why from Wärtsilä point of view, it is important to have a balancing power. It's mean that when there is no sun, then there is power can replace the electricity. And then when there is a sun come back, if for example, the cloud gone, then the electricity come back, and then the balancing power can ramp down. So that's why our technology is really matched to support renewable energy, because we can stop anytime, and then also ramp up and ramp down anytime. So and Indonesia has, as my presentation show, already more than 5 gigawatt Wärtsilä power plant. And this existing power plant actually can utilize to support the implementation of renewable energy. It's mean that in that area where is Wärtsilä power plant, if build new solar PV, then to balance the power plant, Wärtsilä engine can support that. So that's, I think, the most important, because the engine can support the balancing in minutes, day, and longer time. Of course, for millisecond, then you need battery energy storage. But even for battery energy storage, Wärtsilä has also a portfolio, and we also collaborate with such as mentioned by the IBC, CATL, or LG Chem. So that's, I think, even Wärtsilä doesn't have renewable energy product, but we really envision 100% renewable energy in the future. Why? Because we can support to make it happen. And for the second question, maybe you can ask, but still, engine only run gas or liquid fuel. We are now, at the moment, commercially are able to run hydrogen as a sustainable fuel with 25% mixed with the gas. But in our laboratory, our research and development, it can show our engine can run 100% hydrogen. But I think it will take some time to make it commercially happen. And at the moment, I think the hydrogen price is also still quite high. And I think in the near future, when the price is competitive, our engine is ready to take it the challenge. That's, I think, we can collaborate, especially with here, Pak Bernardus, PLN from PLN Indonesia Power. Pak, we already discussed how we can cooperate the existing fleet of PLN Indonesia Power, which is using Wärtsilä, can be converted using hydrogen in the future. And of course, Wärtsilä welcome also if you want to see our laboratory in our factory. Thank you, Pak.
Yeah. Thank you, Pak Febran. Thank you. Please, Elias.
I think this was a really, really nice introduction, and I have a story to let's say collaborate on your idea. So like you said, your turbines are very good flexibility power when you talk about the latencies of minutes, so minutes after something happens. Now, the battery storage is needed for milliseconds when we talk about, in technical terms, FFR or FCR. And what the cars, electric cars are, they're actually big batteries on wheels. In Finland, we had just a few weeks ago a kind of accidental stop or forced stop of a nuclear power plant. It caused rapid reduction of energy production in the network. What happened? All our car chargers reduced their charging power immediately in milliseconds and help the grid to stay stable before these flexibility elements came into power. Now, this is a routine technology we have. It's installed in most countries in Europe. And definitely we can see the combination of faster reserves and a bit slower reserves to help the grid stay stable. And this is more and more important the more renewables you have on this network. So what we would suggest as kind of what we can do together, let's showcase this in a way that we find investors here who are willing to invest, maybe some funding for it, in a large enough scale, because we are not startups here, and this is not a startup game, and you need a lot of cars in order to make some impact on this. But let's prove this is the way of the future, because the electric cars, they're the cheapest battery storages in the world. Why? They already were both for driving, and their charging network was already invested for charging. So there is no additional cost in using the electric cars as energy storage, except the system and the capabilities that are already provenly tested. So with this kind of collaboration together with you local partners, we would demonstrate that this is the way of the future and hopefully regulate that this is the model of the future that Indonesia is going to on a longer term, to ensure that there is flexibility in the energy system, enabling the sustainable energy increase while going towards zero carbon society. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Elias. Please, Juho.
Yeah, I pretty much second to what Elias was saying about this stabilizing the grid load. We have similar experiences in Thailand. They have regulated even this remote and automatic taking chargers power down when there is a peak in the grid. For example, during the hot season and busy working hours in some commercial buildings and so on. This is something but what not everybody has been implemented, but we have been trying it out, and it's in there, and their software is managing it, and we are supporting that one. That's that's quite critical in some areas based on my studies in Indonesia as well. And maybe it doesn't show here in the Jabodetabek area where people are typically driving and operating. But the initiative is really to make people to travel with EV cars from here to Bandung and Jogja and so on. Also, grid has to be stable in there, and the chargers has to get the power where it's needed. Otherwise, there won't be nationwide EV penetration in Indonesia. This is just my conclusion based on the studies over the past 2-3 years in here related to this industry. And I need to agree with Elias again. I mean, let's try to make a showcase somewhere. Let's put something live. Otherwise, this is a I mean, one picture is worth of 1,000 words. One demo is worth of 1,000 pictures, but the live thing is worth of 1,000,000 demos. So let's try to do live implementation somewhere. You will see what's happening. This is pretty much my.
Okay. Yes.
And maybe a short comment. Of course, these all solutions we have up and running in Finland. So we really would like to invite you all to see how they work in large scale in Finland and how they could be implemented in Indonesia, so that they would be your profit-making machines of the future.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, one addition. I mean, it can be basically almost any country in Europe if you want to visit. We are everywhere. So we have been taking our Asian customers to, for example, Denmark, seeing bus fleets. They have the biggest bus charging stations there in Europe. So and so on. I mean, up to you.
I would like to give maybe participants, audience in the floor. Anybody wants to say something? Okay, Päivi, please. Yeah.
Yes. Hello, everybody. So I'm Päivi Laitila, working for the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Employment of Finland. And it has been so pleasure for me to take part in that workshop. And I'm so convinced that it's time for collaboration and increased collaboration. I don't go details, and I would like to thank you especially for our Indonesian presenters, because I received a lot of valuable new information. In Finland, we have worked a lot with energy issues and carbon neutrality, as already given information by our minister and Mrs. Coppola. And you in Indonesia, you have really ambitious vision and very concrete, I would say quite concrete plans. So I think that we have a perfect match to make collaboration. And I'm so delighted that we have now this working group. Thanks for organizing, because this is a practical output of our collaboration agreement of that memorandum of understanding in the area of energy. So I don't take too much time, but I really do my best, and I know that at our ministry we make our best to promote and boost the collaboration, the business collaboration between our countries. So thank you, and let's continue. Oh, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Paivi. If there is no any questions from the participants, I would like to conclude this first panel discussion. We still have the second panel, so please stay with us, and please give a round of applause one more time for our speakers. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Hari Davila. We greatly appreciate your exceptional moderation skills during our first session. Thank you, Pak Hari. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to move to the next agenda, which is the second panel discussion about green building. I would like to invite Bapak Hendro Gunawan, our Senior Policy Analyst from Directorate Energy Conservation. Please, Pak Hendro, the floor is yours. I also would like to inform you there is coffee break outside. You can take it inside. Thank you.
Okay, Your Excellencies, Mr. Agus Cahaya, Special Expert for the Ministers of Energy and Mineral Resources, Bapak Agus Cahyono, Pak Acha, Head of International Cooperations Bureau, representative of PLNs and its subsidiaries, representative of Pertamina and its subsidiaries, representatives from Finland companies, and also my colleagues from ESDM and other ministries. Good afternoon to all of you. I'm glad Finland bring the issues of green buildings for bilateral cooperation between Indonesia and Finland. You know that a building is third consumer of biggest energy after industries and transportations. And Indonesia just issued a government regulation number 33 year 2023 in energy conservation. This include mandatory to implement energy management. So I think our speakers is very valuable for us to talk about energy efficiency in building, especially in green buildings. I will invite my colleagues, Bapak Fajar Hutahen. He is head of Green Building Task Force from Ministry of Public Works and Housing. I will also invite Bapak Iwan Prianto from Green Building Council Indonesia, the chairman of GBCI. I also invite Mr. Dimitro Triaskin from PAICO. And also Mr. Markku Pitkanen from Helfar. And Mr. Laita Kim from Moloch. And also Bapak Rizdianto Haris from Nokia Indonesia. Because our time is running, I think we should manage the time because it's already late. So I will invite Pak Fajar from Ministry of Public Works and Housing to talk on green building policies and regulation in Indonesia. Okay, please Pak Fajar.
Thank you, Pak Hendro. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fajar Santoso Hutahayan from Ministry of Public Works. I am a head of Secretariat of Green Building in Ministry of Public Works. Slide pertama. Bagaimana implementasi bangunan gedung hijau di Indonesia? Kami mengacu, ini ada translatornya nggak? Ada ya? Kami mengacu pada target NDC, National Determined Commitment. Ini telah tertuang di dalam peraturan Undang-Undang Nomor 16 Tahun 2016 dan juga di dalam Peraturan Presiden tahun Nomor 98 Tahun 2021. Nah, di dalam NDC ini ditargetkan Indonesia must reduce 31.89% in 2030. Kemudian apa yang menjadi target di bangunan gedung di 31,8% ini harus menurunkan kira-kira 1,91 juta ton CO2 di tahun 2030. Maaf Pak Hendro, saya membelakangi Bapak ya. Kemudian 25,87 di sektor rumah tangga. Mungkin bisa ke slide berikutnya. Seperti yang telah disampaikan Pak Hendro tadi bahwa bangunan gedung mengemisikan karbon atau menggunakan energi nomor 3 terbesar setelah transportasi dan industri. Bangunan gedung juga mempunyai peran yang signifikan di dalam mengemisikan karbon. Dan ini sebagai perhatian pemerintah telah diterbitkan peraturan pemerintah Nomor 16 Tahun 2021 yang mengamanatkan perlunya implementasi bangunan gedung hijau di Indonesia. Dan ini juga diatur di dalam peraturan menteri kami, di peraturan menteri PUPR Nomor 21 Tahun 2021. In our regulation, green building must achieve 20% of efficient energy. Jadi ada target, sudah ditargetkan di dalam peraturan pemerintah. Bangunan gedung, kalau dia mengadopsi prinsip-prinsip hijau harus menurunkan emisi efisiensi energinya sebesar 25% dan 10% air. Slide selanjutnya. Kemudian kami telah menyusun roadmap, Green Building Roadmap. Kami dibantu oleh GBPN, pemerintah Perancis, di dalam menyusun roadmap ini. Jadi di sini sudah jelas target-target bangunan gedung hijau yang akan diturunkan emisinya untuk setiap provinsi dan untuk setiap kabupaten kota di Indonesia. Jadi ada angka masing-masing harus dicapai oleh setiap kabupaten kota. Tujuan akhirnya adalah mencapai net zero emission building di tahun 2060. Ini sejalan dengan roadmap yang telah disusun oleh Kementerian ESDM yang telah disusun di tahun 2022, sementara kami baru meluncurkan peta jalan ini di tahun 2023. Bisa lanjut. Nah, kemudian bagaimana kami mengejar 1,91 juta ton penurunan emisi CO2 di sektor bangunan gedung. Di dalam roadmap kami sampai tahun 2030, time's up. Kami targetnya menurunkan 51,5 juta meter persegi yang disertifikasi BGH. Mungkin bisa lanjut saja kalau gitu slide-nya. Lanjut terus. Nah, ini adalah potensi bangunan gedung yang ada di Indonesia yang perlu disertifikasi bangunan gedung hijau. Jadi ada sekian banyak, lebih dari 1 miliar meter persegi bangunan gedungnya yang harus kita sertifikasi. Yang baru disasar baru 51,5 juta ton, 51,5 juta meter persegi. Lanjut mungkin. Nah, ini berdasarkan target kami di bangunan gedung existing. Untuk building envelope melalui retrofitting, efisiensi energinya sebesar 7,15%, ventilation system 3,25%, dan transportation system 2%. Mungkin kalau dari Finlandia dengan modernisasi lift Kone ya, Kone itu sepertinya efisiensinya sangat tinggi, saya sudah baca di websitenya. Mereka berhasil efisiensi energinya, savingnya sampai 63% dari tahun 85 sampai saat ini. Jadi mungkin bisa lebih tinggi sebenarnya target untuk transportation system in building. Lanjut. Nah, ini adalah yang kita perlukan di Kementerian PUPR di Indonesia. Kami perlu adanya ahli-ahli profesional-profesional yang bekerja sama membantu kami mengimplementasikan bangunan gedung hijau, kemudian memperkuat policy kami, kemudian juga memperkuat aparat pemerintah khususnya di kabupaten kota. Lanjut. Ini adalah kerjasama yang sudah kami lakukan saat ini dengan GBPN, Kementerian ESDM membuat Green Building Roadmap. Kemudian ada rencana loan from Denmark for energy efficiency in building. Kemudian dengan ASEAN Energi, kemudian dengan GIZ Jerman untuk data collection dan juga untuk mereview efisiensi energi bangunan gedung melalui IEA. Mungkin itu yang bisa kami sampaikan. Jadi kami berharap ada kerjasama juga antara Finlandia dan Kementerian PUPR untuk implementasi BGH ini. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fajar. So, Mr. Fajar said that Ministry of Public Works and Housing already has a roadmap for green building until 2030, and it will be issued soon. Okay. And they also have target to reduce greenhouse gas emission from building sectors. And they need collaboration, international cooperation, and they have open hand to have cooperation with Finland, right? Okay. And then I will invite Pak Iwan Prianto from GBCI. Please, Pak.
Thank you very much. Yeah, because my time is very short. I just want to share things about, not about the technology, but advancing net zero through nature-based solution. Next, please. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. This is just the mindset discussion. When we see this, things like happening in on the moon, when we have to have some facilities in the moon, then we need to protect ourselves from the environment or the surrounding environment because it's very harsh. Yeah, the temperature is 107 degrees in the daylight, in the daytime, and then in the nighttime perhaps on minus 107 degrees. So it is very harsh. But it seems that in Indonesia especially, next please, next, there is some tendency that we think that we need to protect ourselves from our surrounding environment by having enclosed building. With all the building, with the assumption that the building defaults, it should be air conditioned instead of dealing with the tropical paradise. So this is the first mindset that I need to, as introduction, what nature-based solution means for the green building, especially in Indonesian and tropical area. Next, please. Yeah, this is the nature-based solution. It's not just about carbon offsetting. Nature-based solution is not just about reforestation, growing a mangrove plant, and etc. But in building, there's a lot of things. First, we cannot provide, for instance, cooling solution because the cooling load is we're not dealing with heating, but we deal with cooling. So we talk about cooling, the cooling solution at the building level. We cannot just simply alienating us from the surrounding environment. So first thing first that we can use is we have to promote during operational carbon. We promote natural ventilation, and from the embedded carbon, we also promote local renewable materials. Yeah, and then also improve energy efficiency. We not just jump suddenly to AC, but we can try to elaborate hybrid cooling solution before conventional AC, for instance. This is a lot of things that we can do about this, and also smart building management. And by using renewable energy as nature-based sustainable energy sources, that is also part of the nature-based solution in my perspective. Next. So actually, the logical steps toward net zero, first is not use the energy in terms of operational carbon. Not use the energy, maximizing the use of natural ventilation. If we need to use energy, then use less energy. Seek hybrid solution and etc. And then smart way to use energy and use renewable energy and offset. In terms of embodied carbon, the first principle is build nothing. If we can do, if we don't need to build something, then build nothing. Yeah. And if we need to build, then build less. Yeah. And then if we have to build it in clever way, and also build efficiently and minimize the waste. So the whole principle of this remind us that the logical approach to both embodied carbon and operational carbon is reducing the use of material and energy resources as much as possible without compromising productivity. So this is the prioritizing the implementation of sustainable nature-based solution. I'm not telling you about how to implement the nature-based solution. This is just only 4 minutes. I just want to raise the importance to prioritize the nature-based solution before we talk about technology, before we talk about technology in carbon capture storage and etc., before we talk about carbon offsetting. The building sector has a lot to do with reintroducing again the importance of nature-based solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Iwan. Pak Iwan talking about natural-based solution, how to integrate building with its environments. And he said that the best solution is the first one, avoiding using energy. So maximizing natural ventilation and lighting. And also then implement energy efficiency. And after that, we using renewable energy for the rest of energy needed. He also mentioned about embodied carbon reduction strategy, how to reduce carbon pad in building material and also construction. I think it will be correlated with our next speaker, Mr. Dimitro Triaskin from PICO. He will talk about sustainable construction in building and its innovations. Okay, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dima. I represent a Finnish company called Payco. Okay, let's start. Next slide, please. And next one. Let's go straight for the topic. Payco is specializing in construction technologies. Our passion is to make construction more sustainable. So we do it in several ways. For example, we cooperate with different industries. Let's talk about wind energy. So wind energy produced by wind generations, which stays on the foundation. In Nordic countries, most of wind generations stays on Payco foundation. So this is one way. Another way is to keep learning what are other ways to make construction more sustainable, more friendly. So why is this so important? Let's next slide. Let's look around. We are surrounded by buildings. People always build. We will build in the future, but sometimes the way how we build is not future friendly. So let's see at this slide. From the very beginning, when the building starts to be designed, from the very step that the first concrete is laid to build the building, until the life cycle of the building and the last stage of the end of the cycle when building will be demolished, buildings will be responsible for the CO2 emissions. Buildings will be one of the major consumptions of the energy. Next slide, please. So in Payco, we introduce several solutions which can help to build buildings more sustainable. I will introduce just few of them. It's ultra low energy solutions, dry connections for the precast systems, and delta beam slim floor structures. Next slide. And next. So we are talking about green building or net zero consumption buildings. So this is the buildings which are efficient in energy consumption. So let's look at this slide. It's very important that the energy which are produced, it can be green energy, is used efficiently. Again, looks around. When we look at the buildings, we see the facade, we see windows and walls. When the sun will shine, it will shine on the building, and the heat which produced by the sun may go inside of the building. The energy I just mentioned, the building are big consumer of the energy. We're using these air conditioning systems. So it's very important that we use it efficiently, and we can help to utilize the technology which can keep performance of the building more efficiently. Next slide, please. Next slide. One way, is very simple way, is to use insulation. Just very small 50 millimeter insulation layer can help a lot. And also, it can be done in the precast technology, where the insulation is hidden inside of the precast elements produced in the factory and then installed on the construction site fast and efficient way. Next slide. This is about the dry connections for the precast. And next slide. So as I mentioned, we will keep building. We also need to build facilities, power plants, and other facilities which will produce a green energy. Will produce building for us to live. And it's also very important that we can build it efficiently and fast, and we can eliminate the construction waste which is produced all the time. So this is one way. I always mentioned by several friends, this is Lego type of construction. When you produce one element, put it on top of each other, same as you play with Legos. And now we have friends also from energy sector, from Bertamina company. You're in energy business. You're also building petrochemical facilities. There are some structures which need to build very fast with limited territory. For example, like pipe racks or cooling towers. And it's very important that some special technologies are used which can build it in more efficient way, and you can eliminate the materials which are used for these buildings. Next slide. These pictures are taken from the BCA guidelines, DFMA. This is advanced precast system. So precast is standard system. What makes it advanced is connections. So what it introduced here is bolted connection, which is also seismic proof and can help to rise the structure very fast. Imagine one column, it can be 20, 30, 35-meter long, self-steering on just on a few bolts, and can be erected with a team of 2 people just in 10, 15 minutes. It's very fast. Next slide. So last but not least is slim floor solutions. So when we're talking about saving on CO2 emissions in a building, one way to achieve it is to reduce the volume of the building. Why we call it slim floor? In seismic country, eventually the floor slab will be put on top of the beams. And beams also will go in 2 directions. This is seismic design. But it's already introduced the solution where you can put the slab same height with the beam. So you can save easily 30 to 50 centimeter per floor. Next slide. Next slide, please. So you can see here conventional system. You can use a steel beam. You can use a concrete beam, inverted T-beam. In any case, you put the slab on top of the beam. But there is other way with a smart solution called delta beam, when the slab and beam are integrated as one unit. Next slide. And next slide. Another way is to reduce CO2 emission is use low carbon construction. For example, some materials which like timber or wood construction, and also combine it together with delta beam to have a slim floor structures. Next slide. Here we can also implement it in architectural design of the building. So we want to build fast, but we also want to build beautiful structures. We want to build in special design, curved shapes. We want to have the windows from the floor to the ceilings. We want to live in beautiful houses. So this is also the way which can be achieved with slim floor solutions. Next slide. And this topic, it's more about the future, but this also happening today. Imagine that you build a house or building, not from steel, but from concrete. And in 10, 20 years, you decided, okay, I want to have the same buildings, but in different location. But what to do with current building? One way is just demolish, destroy it, make more pollution, or there is a way to disconnect all the elements, just move to another place, connect it again, and build exactly the same structure from exactly the same elements. This is called circular economy, and it's already happening. In Europe, there is already several projects when the building was built and relocated to another location. And the building was done from precast technology, from the concrete and delta beams, and it just stays there. So this is for the future. If we need to build, let's build less, let's build smart, let's build for our future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Priyaskin from PEGO. Mr. Jaskin talk about emission from design and construction stage, and then in operating stage and demolition stage, all of the stages creating emission, and he offered the solution from PEGO. He called it ultra low energy solutions. This solution have a unique features from his precast material that make more efficient in time and space of contraction that usually correlate with energy usage, and with less time and space usage, it will be reduce the carbon emissions. And he also offer about circular economy in his solution as well. So participant, our next speaker will talk about lighting. This is really one of energy usage in building. He will talk about intelligence lighting. I will invite Mr. Markku Pitkänen from Helfar, please.
Good afternoon. 2 presentations to go, so hope you bear with me. I'll be quick today. My name is Markku. I'm based in Finland, headquarters of Helva. Helva is a 102-year-old company, family owned. And the family ethos runs very much through our operations in terms of collaboration and cooperation. I think the first slide, couple of relevant things is probably the verticals. We operate in multiple verticals when it comes to smart lighting and smart building context. We have a partner network throughout the world. We've been doing business and supporting our local partner here in Indonesia for over 30 years. So if you want to have a reference visit, I'm sure our local partner can make that happen. There's plenty of them all around in Jakarta, for instance. Next page, please. Coming from that family ethos, we have a very, very ambitious target and a vision, because we want to make every building carbon neutral, energy positive, and focused on well-being of the tenants of the building. And we use lighting and lighting controls in our advantage to do that. Next page, please. So when you start thinking about lighting, you start thinking about on-off switches and all those lamps and light bulbs and everything, LEDs and so forth. But there's much, much more to it. And what we found out together with our partners and with our customers is lighting is actually a perfect vehicle for enhancing the smart building and making it greener. Now, we collaborate throughout the world in multiple green building organizations. And there's a lot of studies and a lot of guidance from organizations and guidance and standards like LEED, BREEAM, and WELL standard, how to do smart building, how to make them better. Next page, please. So we focus on solutions, whether they are wired or wireless or hybrid, and we bring all that information into a digital platform and help that to connect seamlessly to other building services. And when we talk about energy savings, there's two aspects of that. First one is through lighting itself. How can we measure the light outside? How can we dim the lights? How can we make the sensor network more dense? And the density is actually which work in our advantage. Next page, please. So when you think about lighting, there's a couple of things that work in our advantage. I already mentioned the sensor network. There's more density in sensor networks regarding lighting than anywhere else. And you need lights in a building, right? So it needs to be done anyway. Now, those sensors have been traditionally measuring movement. PIR sensors is what we talk about. Nowadays, they measure a lot more. So in order for us to make that building smarter, there's an environmental aspect to that sensor network. Why is that important? It's important for the other building services. And we connect that, we gather that data and we connect that data through the digital platform, because we want to help the other building services to be more effective, such as heating, HVAC, and other parts of the building, how the space is occupied. And that is actually at the moment why Helva solutions are so popular around the world in multiple markets, including Indonesia. I'm going to jump off, but I already have the last slide presented because there's the information. Next one, please. Next one, please. Because there is the most important information of this presentation. That's the contact details on our local team here in Indonesia, in Asia Pacific. So we do a lot of training and collaboration. Please get in touch with us and we're happy to help you to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pitkanen, for your very interesting topics, solution in building energy efficiency through intelligent lighting. for green buildings, really, we not just talk about energy efficiency and also renewable energy in building, but we will also talk about how we handle the waste management. And our speaker will talk about his invention in waste management. I will invite Mr. Laitakim from Moloch. Okay, please, Pak.
Selamat petang. So I'm from Malaysia, so I know bahasa. So we make it quick. So Moloch, next slide. Moloch is the inventor and the pioneer for the semi-underground bins. So we are the market leaders. Next. So we win the 2016-2017 the best waste management system. Next. So we give a short video.
Where will we put all the waste? Instead of filling the landfills, how can we get the valuable materials to recycling? How can the local governments save money in waste collection services? Can we pick up more waste per one emptying? The solution and positive answer to all these questions is Moloch, the inventor of the idea of going underground. Moloch produces waste collection solutions that are installed 60% underground. Vertical design saves space as waste is compacted by gravity. The coolness of the ground reduces odors. There is more space for car parking, children's playgrounds, and green spaces, among many other things. With Moloch products, customers can save collection time and collection cost. There are even 80% less emptyings compared to conventional bins. Less emptyings are needed, thus there are less collection trucks driving around and less emissions. Our products have a long lifespan. Even the first, more than 25-year-old containers are still in use. Maintenance and repair is one part of Moloch lifecycle thinking. Waste collection can also be beautiful, and it encourages to sort the waste. Our products have high quality of details, variety of framing options, as well as unique possibility to collect several waste fractions. Moloch solves the problem of messy and untidy surroundings at apartment houses and public collection points. We use 100% recyclable materials, HDPE plastic and aluminium. In production, we use recycled framing materials and the cuttings from our own production. It is important for us to have continual commitment to innovation, improve the current methods and products, and create new solutions.
Next. So actually we have two products, one Moloch Classic, one Mono Domino. Next. So actually the whole Moloch design got three components: the lid, the inner bag or inner container, and the outer valve. Next. So the Moloch Domino, the outer valve is fiber concrete. Next. So the concept of Moloch is that 40% is above ground, 60% underground. Next. So the waste is compact by gravity. So the oldest waste is always at the bottom, newest waste is at the top. So it's odorless. And the coolest of the ground, you reduce the bacterial growth. And you need a crane to do the emptying. Next. Even though you can sit beside the Moloch bins, you can't smell anything at all. Next. So it's designed for the child safety. Next. And also for a disabled person. Next. So we consist of different kind of capacity. The biggest one is 5 meter cubes, equal to 5,000 liters. Next. So one Moloch bins of can equal to 660 liters, 10 of the 660 liters. Next. And one Moloch beans can equal to 55 pieces of 120 liter normal beans. Next. And you can see the pictures. This in Malaysia. You can see the conventional is we have 6 bins, but the capacity is only 3,600 liters. But the other side is with smaller bins, 4 bins equal to 14,000 liters. So there will no overflow problem. Next. So because it's built with HDPE plastic, some of the parts we can provide 10 years warranty. Next. So because of the waterproof design, so you no need to have a rumah sampah. Actually, the cost of one molar bin is cheaper than you build a rumah sampah. Okay, so we reduce your cost. Next. So because of the waterproof design, so you will eliminate the mosquito breeding ground. So you can know that every year 725,000 people die because of the mosquito. Next. So if with proper installation, you can against the floods for 1 meter, 3 feet. Okay, the waste will still inside the bins. Next. So we have different kind of sizes for different kind of segment of waste. Next. Just this, the monodomino is a very flexible single bin. You can split to different kind of waste. Next. And next, the maximum 1 molar bin can split to 6 fragments. Next. Something like this. Next. So cost efficient is very important. So with using the Moloch system, you only need 1 person to operate for the emptying. Not like the other side, you need 4 or 5 people to do the emptying. Next. By integrated level sensor, so you only need to collect the waste once it's 80% full. So this will reduce the collection truck traffic, reduce the emission, reduce the fuel consumption. Next. So you can integrate with any apps that you available in the market. Next. So this is the actual case study in Malaysia. We are in Pasir Gudang, Smart City. The green color is not yet full. The red color is 80% full. So every time morning, we will plot the nearest route to our driver to collect the bin that is full. The bin is not full, we will not go in to collect. So you can see in Malaysia, we are using the bio bins because there is a lot of leachate water and mixed waste. So we are using a remote control crane with single operation. So you can see there is no leachate water flying around. So, and whole process only take 2 minutes for 5,000 liters. Okay, next. So this is my last slide. This in Finland, you can see people is sitting beside the Moloch bins, but it's not smelly at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Very interesting concept of using semi-underground garbage cans. It looks small over on the ground, but it's actually have higher capacity using underground space. And it also integrate smart waste collection system using intelligent system to handle the garbage. Okay, participants, our last speaker is from Nokia, Pak Risdianto. Silahkan, Pak.
Good afternoon, selamat sore Bapak dan Ibu sekalian. So saya Risdianto dari Nokia Indonesia. So today we talk about connected building. Nokia is not only connecting people, but also connecting building and connecting system. Okay. So we heard a lot of system that already presented by our Finland colleagues, as well as some what's so-called a presentation regarding how we achieve what's so-called green building. So now how the communication or technology will contribute to the smart and green building. So let me quote one sentence or statement from our CEO, Pekka Lundmark. So Pekka mentioned that no green without digital. So digital is taking important roles actually to how to create the green environment. So next slide, please. Yeah. So when we build a smart and green building, so of course nowadays we have a lot of challenges. So one of these that digital twins, I believe Indonesia now start to implement digital twin, yeah, Pak Fajar. So how we implement digital twins? So of course to make this, the connectivity is very important, and of course cybersecurity with this all the system automations. We have all applications, but it's also prone to the cybersecurity. So it's very important to have secure connectivity. Data connectivity, of course, to enable our application, it needs data, but it also need to have a secure and connections with the high bandwidth. Space management, of course, buildings is also having spaces, but space is also expensive. How we make the building which is efficient with the space management, predictive operations. Also, we also would like to maintain the buildings with the predictive and based on data, and also monitoring and control. Next, please. So this is what Nokia, how to do the smart and green building. So we have some segments that we are focusing on. Next. 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 So this is, I would like to highlight in this case that a lot of technology that we can implement to the buildings. One of technology was so-called POL or PON. POL is stand for passive optical line or passive optical network. So instead of traditionally, developer usually build up the building, including the coaxial or copper cables. So now we have a fiber optic cables that we can build into the buildings with the equipment what's so-called ONT and OLT. So OLT is like a core switch that will be connected to terminals called ONT, which it can save the power. Why it can save the power? Because it has a less also called power consumption. It has less heat because a small equipment. So in terms, based on our study, it can save up to 82% power saving. And with this system, it reaches more distance. So if we want to connect tower to tower in some areas, it can span up to 20 kilometers instead of traditional network, which is only 100 meters. And it can deliver high-speed internet up to 25 Gbps, gigabit per second. Okay, next. And this is an example of our system. Instead comprised of the system also called OLT and ONT. Next. 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 So this is an example of use case. If we want to build this stadium, which is very complicated and need a lot of system that we need to make sure that the connectivity or system can connect all of the system together to the command center and the building management system. Next. 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 So this is just an example how we deliver our system. Just an example, in the US, there is a small city that initially they very famous as a small city and it's not very successful, very dirty. So the city management have an idea how to develop the city, refurbish the city and make a brand new image of the city by building up a high-speed internet. So with this, they can attract the investor. So then the city become a new and modern city to deliver a lot of modernizations and industry. Next. And this is also an example of how we deliver this for Changi Airport. Next. And this is also an example in smart building in the US. Of course, an example, this is for university. Also in Indonesia, I believe students, university need high speed internet. to do the homework study and etc. So we help Michigan to deliver the high-speed internet by building up this what's so-called a PON-OPPOL system. Next. Next. Okay, next. Next. And this, okay. So this is what we can deliver from Nokia side to help you to build a smart and green building. Okay, if you have any question or you would like to discuss more, so I believe our Business Finland contacts, having my contact, so please feel free to let them know to contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Ms. Risdianto, for the presentation. It is very interesting about building Internet of Things and building automation system as well, about smart buildings. Actually, Ministry of Public Works and Housing just launched regulation, government regulation on smart building, smart buildings, and ministerial decree number 10, 2023, just launched a week ago, if I am not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. So I think your concept will help us, help Pak Fajar how to implement smart buildings and to reduce the use of energy efficiency in building. It also one of ASDM target, Pak, for increasing energy efficiency in buildings. Okay, Mr. Risdianto is our last speaker, and now I will give the floor. I will invite the participant. If you have any questions, I will give 3 opportunity for the participant to raise questions. Okay. Okay, please, Bu Ova.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so for the very nice presentations for all the speakers. My name is Ova. I'm from Universitas Indonesia. Yeah, so I would like to raise a question, just one question. So it's about Moloch, about the waste management things. Yeah, regarding the waste management in Indonesia, we we are hardly differentiate our waste into fractions. And our waste is also wet, more than like 50%. How your technology can consider our technology, our waste? That's the first question. The second question is regarding the collection itself. We in Indonesia, especially in the cities, we almost reluctant into the informal sectors. Yeah, that the collection sectors sometimes working on their own to perform the circular economy because, however, they perform such activities. Thank you.
Okay, for the first question is that how the waste is mixed. There's a lot of water. Actually, in Malaysia, we are facing the same thing because it's very difficult to educate people to don't throw the separate the waste, mixed waste and recyclable waste. So actually in Malaysia, so we are currently only using the bio bins that can contain the water, and so we have another bins just for the recyclable. So one is for mixed waste, one is for recyclable. But both we are using the hard containers, not the nylon bag, because nylon bag will drip the water. So this is one of the solutions that currently we doing in Malaysia. So we put 2 bins, one is mixed, one is recyclable. Okay. Then the other question is that how people going to do waste segregation? Is it? Actually, we are facing the same thing in Malaysia. So very difficult to educate people to separate the waste. Some people they don't know how to separate because too many fractions. So actually, we only put 1 bins. We put all the recyclable waste into the 1 bin. Then we send to the sorting center to sort. This is the initial way to do that. But in future, you can start to use the Moloch domino, which single bin can split to 6 different kind of fractions. So you only invest 1 time. Initially, you just put 1 fraction, then maybe 1 or 2 years later, turn to 3 section, then then change to 6 section. But you are using the one bin only. So you don't need to invest more money, just invest once time only. Okay. And by the way, regarding currently we are working with one Indonesian company providing EV collection truck with a crane. So all the technical issue have been solved. So actually the collection truck will be in EV type. So this will reduce the carbon emission also.
Cukup, Bu Ova, jawabannya? Okay, thank you, very interesting. Maybe you can mention in which area you have, like you mentioned, you have a project in Indonesia, right? Just mention.
We currently working with one Indonesian company building the EV truck.
Okay.
EV truck with a crane, also from Finland, Hiab. So the whole design have been completed. So when Indonesian governments want to launch this Moloch, the truck is ready anytime. And we also received some drawings from POPR. So regarding this Moloch, but we keep getting calls that we're going to complete on June, but until today, I still don't know who is placing the orders. Okay.
Okay, I hope you will have a project in Indonesia soon. So we will see your project. Okay. Okay, very interesting. Is there any other question? Okay, please, Bu.
Thank you. My name is actually Kartika. I'm from the Universitas Indonesia, same as Ms. Zova. So I am so interested in PEICO, slim wall, the technology one. So we are currently developing the insulation that called the phase change materials. Have you heard of it? It's actually like the thermal energy storage that perform as an insulation and can change in the phase either to liquid and a solid phase. We want to ask, is this possible to like put some insulation inside your slim wall? Any kind of talk on that kind of insulation? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the question. So basically, we are specializing in connections. Let's talk about the insulation. There are different thickness of the insulation, the different, let's say, material of the insulations. What we can do, we can connect this insulation to the concrete element of the wall. We can hide it inside, so it will be intermediate layer. Then what we need to consider is load-bearing structure. So basically the thicker wall and also outdoor part of the wall and connect it together. So normally, if you talk about the thickness of the material, outside part of the concrete would be around 5 centimeters. This is a minimum, of course, it can be increased. Insulation itself, from China experience, we face this question actually from the south part of the China. They want to have it as slim as possible. We say that our standard would be around 5 centimeters. Actually, it can be reduced, let's call it to the 3 centimeters and can be still connected. But load-bearing structures, this need to be careful because Indonesia is in seismic areas. And we cannot make wall too slim. I understand that we want to save the space, but we also need to take care about the structural design, the capacities of the walls, especially if it's shear walls. But what we can do, we can help with the design, and we can basically advise what should be the thickness of each layer and how to connect different, let's say, insulation materials with concrete part of the wall element. Thank you.
Cukup, Bu Kartika? Okay, thank you, Pak. Okay, is there any other question? If there is no question, maybe I have questions. To Pak Iwan. Pak Iwan, maybe you can tell us your impression about this room. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Pak Hendro. I just mentioned to Pak Hendro, because this is my first time inside this very beautiful Khairul Saleh room, ya Pak Hendro. So my first impression that this room is already trying to embrace nature-based solution. For instance, we have actually extra daylight, free daylight, no need for artificial light. But I believe if we can turn off this artificial light, it's still enough for us, especially during this afternoon. So, and also we are not feel enclosed. Yeah, we can have a very good microclimate outside because there's also quite sufficient greeneries outside the room. So the thermal gain is not that big. There's no heat island effect there. So the thermal gain is not that big. So therefore, there's no need for extra energy to cooling this building. So I think that's the good example for this building. That is also the example for nature-based solution, Pak. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Iwan. Actually, this building, if I'm not mistaken, is already green chip certification from GBCI.
It could be better, Pak, if this is actually natural ventilation, Pak. If we can brave enough to incorporate natural ventilation instead of AC. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak, for your
There's
suggestion.
something we need to deal with how to manage the noise and yeah because this is for meeting, yeah. It's not for just sitting, yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Pak Iwan, for your suggestions. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for all our participants, I think this is the end of this session for our panels. All speakers already present the unique solution offer for energy efficiency in buildings and how to reduce greenhouse gas in building sectors. Building sector have high opportunity to decarbonize because more than 90% in Indonesia building sectors energy demand is supplied from electricity. And thank you for all of the speakers. And I hope there is a follow-up for this meeting. There is more cooperation between Finland and Indonesia in building sector. Thank you.
Documentation team, do you mind to help to take picture? Oh, sorry. Do you want to in the middle at the stage, maybe for the good background? Thank you very much for all distinguished speakers and Pak Hendro Gunawan for your outstanding contribution as moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our Finland Indonesia Smart Energy Working Group. On behalf of Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources of the Republic of Indonesia, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for each and one of you and grace out for your presence. May our collaborations lead to sustainable solutions and a brighter future for both nations. Safe travels and best wishes for your endeavors. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.